Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we're going to be going all the way back to Halo 1 again, and tackling a pretty interesting question, which is, can Marines in Halo 1, or rather Halo Combat Evolved, can they use Active Camo? So, back in Halo 1, Active Camo was a power-up that you picked up. It was not an armor ability or equipment that you activate on demand. So, Marines don't normally use Active Camo in Halo 1. They just simply never pick it up. And, they don't have armor abilities or anything either. So, what if we modded ourselves as a Marine, to play as a Marine, and then picked up the Active Camo ourselves? Can they actually use it? Well, let's see what happens. So we're going to start with Classic mode first, because, Classic graphics, that's the OG thing. So, we'll see what that was like back in the day. But as you can see, for the most part, Active Camo is very functional for Marines in Halo 1 in Classic graphics. Aside from like the flashlight on the weapon and the little ammo counter on the assault rifle, everything else works pretty good for Marines in Active Camo. It's all pretty correct. Although I must admit, the Marine kind of looks, I don't know, in Active Camo they look kind of creepy actually, in my opinion. Like up close, you look at their face, it just looks, I don't know, it just looks kind of creepy to me. A little hard to describe, but at least we know in Classic graphics, the Active Camo does work pretty much perfectly for Marine, which is actually somewhat surprising because they were never really designed for or meant to use Active Camo at all. And yet it still actually works perfectly. But that was Classic graphics, and that works fine, and that's OG. What about Anniversary graphics? Well, now that we're in Active Camo, let's switch to Anniversary graphics and see what it's like. So, as you can see in Anniversary graphics, Active Camo does not, for the most part, apply to Marines, which is actually a little disappointing. But aside from like the Marine's body, it really only applies to the Marine's weapon. So once you pick up Active Camo and Anniversary graphics, the weapon turns invisible, and that's it. And of course, in the case of the AR, the ammo counter is very visible. And then eventually, when the Active Camo runs out, the weapon fades back. But that's disappointing because I was hoping we'd have a similar effect in Halo 2, where, if you guys remember in Halo 2 Anniversary graphics, if you make Marines go Active Camo using like the Assassin Skull, and you zoom up close to their face, it doesn't make them fully transparent. It actually makes their skin transparent, like the outer skin, so that you can only see the inside of their skin. And because of that, you get really creepy results on Halo 2 when Marines go into Active Camo. Which, if you remember my video from a while back, the Marines they do look pretty scary in Active Camo and Anniversary graphics. But unfortunately, that's not the case here on Halo Anniversary, Halo's 1 Anniversary, which is a shame because it's the same studio that did the port, and I was hoping there'd be similarities between how they did Halo 1 and Halo 2 Anniversary. But unfortunately, Active Camo does not apply in Anniversary graphics, so you cannot see anything like that like in Halo 2. Now, one funny thing about Active Camo with Anniversary graphics is that even though you're still totally visible in Anniversary graphics, the enemies don't see you at all. So when you're playing Anniversary, just because your weapon is invisible, and all of a sudden they don't see the rest of you, which is kind of funny, I guess. But obviously, it's based on how it looks in Classic graphics, and they could see you in they can't see you in Classic graphics, so Anniversary doesn't really matter. The other interesting thing to point out is that in Active Camo, and this applies with Master Chief as well in Active Camo, but when you're invisible and you're driving a vehicle, the enemies can still see you, and they will shoot at you too, even though you're invisible. Now you may be thinking that's common sense, that's logic. They see a human vehicle, an enemy vehicle, a driverless vehicle just driving around with nobody in it. Naturally, they'll want to attack it and shoot at it, right? Well, it makes sense, but in newer Halo games, like Halo 2, it wasn't always like that, actually. For some reason, the AIs got dumber in Halo 2, at least in that one regard. So in Halo 2, if you go Active Camo, and then you get in a vehicle right away, the enemies, even though there's a vehicle driving around, they won't shoot at you until your Active Camo wears off. Like the enemy AIs, they don't even question why there's a vehicle that's just floating around and nobody's driving it. And that wasn't really, fixed until Halo 3. I don't know if it was a bug with the AI in Halo 2, but it was pretty funny, and I could sneak around with vehicles that way back in the day on Halo 2. But in Halo 3, the AIs got smarter again, and if you're Active Camo in a vehicle, they will shoot at you once again. So that's it's basically a Halo 2 thing. But yeah, so Halo 1's AIs were a little smarter in that regard, and even a Marine in active camo, they could be spotted when in a vehicle, but not in anniversary graphics. They're still totally visible, but invisible at the same time. But yeah, so I hope you guys did enjoy this video and found it to be interesting. And if you did, make sure to leave a like. Leave thoughts and comments, anything else we need to tackle or look into, any questions you have, just let me know in the comments. I'll definitely do my best to look into it when I get the chance. But other than that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.